Good evening, live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman Television. Here we present to you 7 o'clock news bulletin. First, the headlines. A verbal message from His Excellency, the President of Brazil, to His Majesty Sultan Qaboos is conveyed by His Excellency, the Head of Foreign Relations and National Defense Committee at the Brazilian Chamber of Deputies when he was received by His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed. Greetings of the Sultan of Brunei Darussalam to His Majesty the Sultan are conveyed by the Second Minister for Foreign Relations and Trade to His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed. The Ministry of Defense celebrates handing over the 9th edition of Sultan Qaboos Sailing Award in Belgium. And the Research Council announces funding for 266 projects. Good evening once again, and thank you for joining us. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. On behalf of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, received today His Excellency Eduardo Bolsonaro, son of His Excellency the President of Brazil, Head of Foreign Relations and National Defense Committee at the Brazilian Chamber of Deputies. The Brazilian guest conveyed a verbal message from His Excellency the President of Brazil to His Majesty Sultan Qaboos. He as well conveyed greetings and best wishes to His Excellency, the President of Brazil, to His Majesty. The message relates to strengthening aspects of the existing cooperation between the Sultanate and Brazil. The meeting dwelt on the growing relations between the two friendly countries and means of strengthening them in various economic, commercial and scientific fields. The meeting also reviewed a number of current issues in the regional and international arenas. From his side, the envoy of the Brazilian president expressed his country's appreciation for the constructive role that the Sultanate undertakes in its foreign relations and development march. He as well praised the Shura experience in Oman. His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud asked his guest to convey the greetings and best wishes of His Majesty the Sultan to His Excellency Jair Bolsonaro, President of Brazil, and for the Brazilian people further progress and prosperity. The meeting was attended by His Excellency Sayyid Khalid bin Hilal, His Excellency Khalid bin Hilal, Chairman of Shura Council. His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, received today His Excellency Dato Sri Seta Haj Mohammed Yusuf, the Second Minister for Foreign Relations and Trade in Brunei Darussalam, head of the Brunei side in the 19th consultative meeting between the Sultanate and Brunei Darussalam. The guest conveyed greetings and best wishes of His Majesty Haj Hassan Bolkiah Sultan of Brunei to His Majesty Sultan Qaboos. The meeting dwelt on the cooperation relations between the two countries and means of strengthening them in various fields. The two sides also reviewed a number of current issues in the regional and international arenas. From his side, His Excellency the Minister of Foreign Relations and Trade of Brunei expressed his pride of the visit, which contributes in activating the bilateral agreements between the two countries. He as well expressed his country's appreciation for the balanced and wise policy of the Sultanate under the leadership of His Majesty the Sultan. The meeting was attended by His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Hamad Al Busaidi, Secretary General of the Foreign Ministry. Enhancing Omani-Brazilian relations were reviewed by His Excellency Dr. Yahya bin Mahfoud Al-Mandri, Chairman of the State Council, with His Excellency Eduardo Bolsonaro, Head of Foreign Relations and National Defense Committee at the Brazilian Chamber of Deputies, currently on a visit to the Sultanate of Oman. His Excellency the Chairman of the State Council expressed that he is looking forward for more cooperation between both countries at commercial investments, industrial, scientific, technology, fisheries, wealth, transport and mining fields. From his side, the Brazilian guest considered the visit as an opportunity to review the march of development in the Brazilian-Omani relations, praising the Sultanate's role and efforts to support stability in the region and enhancing international peace and security. Bilateral relations between the Sultanate and Brazil topped the meeting of His Excellency Khalid bin Hilal Al Mawali, Chairman of Shura Council, with His Excellency Eduardo Bolsonaro of Brazil. Both sides reviewed the role of legislative councils in social issues development plans and draft laws. The meeting also discussed aspects of cooperation existing between the Sultanate and Brazil and means of developing them at various levels. Both sides also confirmed the importance of cooperation between both the friendly countries in legislation aspects and international events to support the joint situation between both councils. The Minister of Defense, represented by the Royal Navy of Oman, celebrated handing over Sultan Qaboos Sailing Award in its 9th edition in Belgium. The award went to Robel sailing ship for its owner Jan van der Born in recognition of his voluntary works in sailing during the closing ceremony of the World Sailing Annual Conference. Sultan Qaboos Award for Sailing, considered as the world's most prestigious sailing award. It supports sailing training all over the world. The Research Council announced of funding 266 projects from 22 academic and non-academic institutions with an amount worth 1.5 million Omani riyals. The researchers were distributed on PhD, D and master's students, as well as those studying on their own expenses. The support of such projects by the Research Council came within the national strategy to provide an innovative and motivational environment for the researchers. Means of cooperation in the fields of fisheries wealth between the Sultanate and Somalia, reviewed in the official discussion sessions between the Sultanate and Somalia, which was held today in the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth. The sessions discussed means of cooperation in the field of pisciculture and open wide opportunities to enhance relations and exchange experiences between both countries. The Omani side was chaired by His Excellency Dr. Hamid bin Saeed Al Aufi, Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth, and from the Somalian side by His Excellency Abdullah Batan Warsma, Minister of Fisheries Wealth and Marine Resources, currently visiting the Sultanate. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and yet to come in our news bulletin. A number of governorates and wilayas of the Sultanate witnessed varied intensity rains due to the effects of the trough of low pressure. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The Royal Hospital launches a campaign for early checkups for colon cancer and rectal cancer. The campaign comes within the efforts exerted by the Minister of Health to limit serious complications of cancer. According to the Royal Hospital, the checkups is considered precise by 90% in detecting colon cancer and rectal cancer. The checkup will be available for those who cross the age of 40 years. Sultan Qaboos University, in cooperation with the Economic Research Forum, organized an international conference with the participation of a number of specialists and academics from the Sultanate and abroad. The conference discusses the economic issues and challenges facing Gulf Cooperation Council countries and finding suitable solutions for them in the midst of international variables. The launching ceremony was held under the auspices of His Excellency Yahya bin Saeed Al Jabri, Chairman of Duqm Special Economic Zone. The Sultanate and Iran signed a number of memorandums of understanding on the sidelines of the 18th round of meeting of the Omani-Iranian Joint Economic Committee, which was held in Tehran. The Sultanate's delegation was headed by His Excellency Dr. Ali bin Masoud Al-Sinadi, Minister of Commerce and Industry. The meeting came within the framework to increase the investments and commercial exchange between the two countries. It also focused on enhancing the commercial movement between Khasab and Bandar Abbas port, in addition to supporting sea transport and cooperation between the Omani and Iranian businessmen from public and private sectors. A number of governorates and wilayas of the Sultanate witnessed rains with varying intensity, which led some wadis and their tributaries to overflow. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Education suspended schools classes in all governorates of the Sultanate except Al-Wusta and Dhafar. As the National Multi-Hazards Early Warning Center warns of heavy rains, the body is concerned exert great efforts to deal with such weather conditions through their well-trained cadres and modern equipment so as to ensure the safety and security of all during the rainfall. Well done to the team there who are exerting their efforts. Enhancing investment opportunities and increasing trading exchanges between the Sultanate and Japan topped the meeting of both sides in Muscat. The meeting introduced the investment opportunities in the Sultanate to the Japanese delegation and opened opportunities before attracting more Japanese investments at various promised sectors, in addition to increase the trade exchange volume and discuss the possibility of holding agreements to enhance economic cooperation between both countries and review challenges faced by Japanese investment companies or the companies which want to seek new investments to the Omani market. The import volume of Japan from the Sultanate reached about $2 billion, while the Japanese exports volume to the Sultanate reached more than $2.5 billion. In recognition of retirees royally in serving homeland and the military corps, Royal Guard of Oman held a ceremony to mark the Retirees' Day. The ceremony included a visual presentation on the development of the Royal Guard of Oman during the years of the blessed Renaissance. It is as well included musical pieces performed by the musical band of Royal Guard of Oman. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and before we end this news bulletin, here are the main points once again. A verbal message from His Excellency the President of Brazil to His Majesty Sultan Qaboos is conveyed by His Excellency the Head of Foreign Relations and National Defense Committee at the Brazilian Chamber of Deputies when he was received by His Highness Said Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Said. Greetings of the Sultan of Brunei Darussalam to His Majesty the Sultan are conveyed by the Second Minister for Foreign Relations and Trade to His Highness Said Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Said. The Minister of Defense celebrates handing over the 9th edition of Sultan Qaboos Sailing Award in Belgium. And the Research Council announces funding for 266 projects. And with that, we do conclude this news bulletin brought to you live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman television. From the entire news team and myself, we thank you for joining us. Wish you a pleasant evening and good night.